So I want to make sure that you're all sitting up close to the screen. I don't want your parents up front and middle. Today, I want all the children sitting right in front of the screens. If you have your own device, that's fine. If you're sharing, make sure you shuffle over because I want you to see everything. Are you all sorted? Excellent. I see you all getting in place. I'm going to tell you a story. About a bee. Now, this bee lived in a lovely colony. Now, a colony of bees, you can see it here, is a big hive. And these bees lived in a beautiful big tree in a lovely green field with loads of flowers. And all the bees were friends. Now, sometimes when they were flying together, they would bump into each other. Bzzz, boom. Oh, I'm sorry, the first bee would say. That's okay. I forgive you. And they would keep flying. Bzzz. Quite often, all the bees would get together and they would decide that they would go on a flower hunt together. Bzzz, and they would look and look all over the place until they found a flower. Bzzz, and then they would fly all around the flowers and collect the nectar, and they were so happy. They enjoyed working together. Bzzz. They liked going on flower hunts. Now, one day, something different happened. There were two bees, and they were flying. Bzzz, boom. I'm sorry. You got in my way. The second bee was very angry. I'm not flying with you anymore. Bzzz, and the angry bee flew away. As he was flying, he thought to himself, I'll show you. Bzzz. And as he was flying, he then landed on a leaf. And he waited there, hoping the other bee would feel bad. I'm going to sit here all day. The other bees knew it was time to go on a flower hunt. So off they went flying. Bzzz. They found a lovely flower. Bzzz. And they found loads of lovely flowers that day. They had a very nice time together. But not the angry bee. He sat on his leaf feeling angry. I'll show that bee. I'm going to sit here all day. Well, the bees also liked to go on races together. So they would all get together and they would set off. Bzzz, just to see who was fastest. And then they would go the other way again. Bzzz. They all had fun racing. But not the angry bee. He sat on his leaf being angry. I'll show that bee. I'm going to sit here all day. Now it was time for the bees to make honey. Now the bees collect the nectar to make honey, and they put it inside a honeycomb. So these bees all went working together, and they would all go to the hive and start making honey. And they liked doing this together. But of course, they were all there except the angry bee. He sat on a leaf being angry. I'll show that bee, Angry Bee said. I'm going to sit here all day. Now it was time for the bees to fly really high up in the sky. And they liked doing this, just to see how high they could go. So up, up, up into the clouds. Bzzz, and they were able to go really high. And they did have fun. Bzzz. And as they were flying up really high, the angry bee still sat on his leaf being angry. I'll show that bee, Angry Bee said. I'm going to sit here all day. But it wasn't working. All the other bees were still happy. Now the other bees did come over and they said, well, Mr. Bee, do you want to come and fly with us? And he said, no, I'm still mad at you. Oh, okay. We'll see you later then. As Mr. Angry Bee sat on his leaf, he began to think. And he thought about the other bees still being happy. And he started feeling sad. He did miss flying with the other bees. Bzzz. He thought he might be able to go the highest. And he really did like making honey. He loved working together. And he did want to go on flower hunts. He knew where there were some really beautiful flowers. He could take them there. I could be happy again, the bee said. I could do all my favorite things. All I have to do. And he sighed. He thought about it. And then he left his leaf. And he found the first bee. And this is what he said. That we crashed into each other. You were kind and said sorry. I forgive you for the crash. I'm sorry for being angry all day. The first bee was very happy to forgive him. He says, can we fly together? Oh, really high? Can we? Oh, yes, let's. And off they went. Bzzz. That's the end of our story today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you remember that next time you feel angry, you will remember what the angry bee did and do something similar yourself. Ask yourself, why am I feeling so angry? What do I need to do? If you find it difficult to do, you can do something that maybe the bee didn't do. You can say, Jesus, I'm feeling angry and I want to fix it. Can you help? And you will find that God will. He's very good like that. Shall we say a prayer together to thank Jesus that he is always with us? Okay, let's bow our heads and pray together. Dear Jesus, we thank you We thank you that sometimes, even if we get angry, you will still always help us. Lord, please take the anger out of our hearts. Help us to know when to say sorry. Help us to know when to forgive.